All right. Well, hey guys. Hey, let's see who's around today. I'm sorry I didn't let anyone know I was doing this today, but I just downloaded some what was it streaming software to help me see the chat and maybe put some chat up. So now I got to play with it while I play with my toys and play with my conversions. But Aaron, looks like you're first in chat. Okay, let's see. There it is. Yeah, you are. You're first in chat. And you're probably the only one here right now. I can't see right now there. We'll go. Yeah, I have no idea how to see where that is, but that's okay. I'm going to cheat and go to my other tablet and see what that says. But can you hear me okay? If you, oh, good. All good. Sound is good. Thanks, buddy. Hey, listen. I'm gonna be on for a little bit, just jamming and seeing if anyone pops in for whatnot, just to play with that software, but also to do up my sci-fi, finish him up, and show that up and show where I'm going with the Wolverines, because the Wolverines thing has come up a lot lately, and it's I have the concepts. I just I don't know if the people understand what the concepts are going to be, and I don't want to disappoint anyone. So I thought I'd just run it by them. But I think it's just you and me here right now, Aaron. I'm just calling up my YouTube to see who else is in the chat, and I don't think there's going to be anyone else but you and I, because I didn't give any notice about this whatsoever. Two watching. Okay, there's two people here. Oh, Maximilian Studios. Hey, cool. All right. And my mic still works. Shane, right on. Hey guys. All right. So sorry again, late notice. I tried that stream stuff, whatever that is, that Aaron told me to try out. Now I can see the comments and pop them up and say hi to people like Eric Klein and look at how this works. Maximilian Studios and Shane Brayla. Oh, I love it. Thank you so much for the good advice, Aaron. Much better. Now I'm thinking I do have to pull out my Chromebook, because I'm doing this on an iPhone, and man, is it a small screen. I gotta try and paint while I do this. Right on. Yeah, guys, I don't expect anyone to stick around too long. I know if I don't give anyone advance warnings, there's no expectations, guys. Hey, son of Crown Slayer. I'm just going to be jamming on this for about an hour, maybe two. I know that I think Punk's got a stream at 7, or is it Punk that's got a stream at 7? I don't want to tell people, don't tune into Punk. Absolutely tune into Punk. I don't want to cross footprints with that at all. All good. Tuck Tussin, good. Yeah. And hey there, son of Crown Slayer. So yeah, I'm today. Well, you know what? 4 guys get to see something that maybe I'm just holding off doing a video on. I'm just doing a dry brush really quick on well, not just a dry brush. I got to touch up the flesh tones. I had a little bit of yellow show up. I'm doing the alternate head for my my sci-fi, and I just gotta clean things up a bit, and then that'll be good enough for that's not the feature piece of it anyways, that's back there, but I have some cool things to show on the sci-fi conversion that came along well. No, Bobby, hey, Bobby's on there. Crimson Vader's on there. Oh, good. Yeah, hey guys. Bobby, yeah, I know I'm leaving in a few days. I just didn't think I'd have the time to maybe play around with this. And then when I saw the problem I had on the last live, not being able to put up chat, I was pretty put off by it. But Aaron, the toy enhancer, he stopped by and he was texting me the other day and saying, "Oh, I forgot to tell you, you need this. It helps you put up the chat." And I was like, thank God. Right. So that just makes it a little bit more functional as a group talk. Right. So, yeah, so I was going to talk a bit about the sci-fi, but more importantly, I was going to show you where we're going with the Wolverines, guys, because I've been stalking, and I know I wish Grievance, if Grievance shows up in the comments, he can pretty much treat this video as a big thank you to him for that suggestion. But thanks to you guys for help building that up into something. Yeah. So, oh, we got 6 people here. All right. And 3 of you remember to hit that like. That's awesome. You know what? I'm tuned into my own thing. No, I'm not going to like my own shit. Hey, I wanted to show you something quickly that this whole Wolverines thing that inspired me, again, came from I think Grievance is a subscriber. Correct me if I'm wrong, and you're out there, Grievance. But he suggested Wolverines. You guys seem to like that idea, and wow, I'm getting a lot of camera sway. I see it. Okay, but last night I slapped something together and I showed it to our buddy Loki Wartooth in a text because I knew he was up for some reason, and this is because of the Wolverines concept that I did that. I made a new backdrop. I was really wanting a new backdrop for up here. So I thought about my end state post-apocalyptic thing that I'm trying to do with my Joe shelf and my brain cannon, as Allison so delicately put it, retro princess brain cannon. I love that term. And so, yeah, I just threw together a little set piece. And I think you guys were there when I showed you these little toy pieces from a build it construction set that I got. And I said, I know I'll use all that. And yeah, and then behind Scarlet, we have the big shout out to the Wolverines. So so now I've got to add some Wolverines. The Wolverines aren't going to be Scarlet and Stalker and all that. That's my wolf pack for my snow job because he's so lonely in the line in those whites. Hey Loki, look at what I can do now. I can ride my bike with no handlebars, no handlebars. Anyways, yeah. So the Wolverines. Before I show Sci-Fi, guys, I just wanted to understand or to make it clear, like the Wolverines are going to look cool. I'm going to do my best to make them look cool. I have some great ideas, but the figures themselves are not going to be the most articulate, guys, because I'm using the figures that I find really good deals on, sometimes just for a single piece that I need out of them, and things like that, right? So I'm gonna have some fun slapping together some Wolverines, and yeah, okay, and there, yeah. So I think you might get a kick out of this. I gotta grab the box. Aaron knows about it. Guys who are following the 350 contest knows about it. But I'm gonna talk about this My Hero Academia. Crap. Sorry to walk all the way from you, but it starts with this. All right. As you guys know, this is something we're giving away. I'm giving away as part of my 350 package, which we're getting closer to. So thanks very much for that, guys. But this there, I'm staring at my own camera. Oh, on clear. This guy. He's pretty much useless for articulation. He's the old Star Wars articulation, right? Not much you can do with it. The real prize part of this is that awesome stage and the little effects with it. But we got that figure, and I popped the head off because I'm going to try and do some reasonable stuff with it. But the Wolverines are going to be comprised of these things, guys. These kind of figures that I salvage for those bits. Because you get a variety of size, right? So when you're dealing with high school kids mixed with college kids mixed with a downed U.S. Force pilot or whatever, you're gonna have kind of a hodgepodge of a group, right? And that's what my Wolverines are gonna try and represent. I'm gonna get caught up on the chat really quick, and we'll go. Hey, Aaron, yeah, you like the Flowbots? Yeah, I loved them, man, when they were fresh and new back. God, seemed like 12 years ago now, probably. It's actually one of the first songs Emerson used to sing in the back of the car when we were cruising around Wainwright, Alberta, on my way to work one day, dropping him off to daycare, and be like, "I can ride my bike with the handlebar," and he would just, yeah. He grew up on Godsmack, Flowbots, Eminem, a little bit of Tragically Hip. He grew up in a variety. Right now he's in an AC/DC phase. It's awesome. Hey, let's go. What else is going on there? Yeah, okay. So yeah, Loki. Yeah, I shot that diorama thing to Loki the other night. So where do I go from there? Well, like you guys, I really got thinking about that the other night. So I told it like, sketchbook after sketchbook after sketchbook, usually after I watch like one of Aaron's videos, or I see what Loki's sending me for, hey, this is what's available for my 3D prints these days. What do you think of this? I'm like, oh my fucking God, yeah. So I always pull out a sketchbook, but with the Wolverines, the big thing about the Wolverines I'm going to do, and how many are in the chat right now? Because that's how many people will know, because I'll try not to remember to say too much about it outside of it, but let's see, what do we got? 8 people in the chat. Yeah. I think I might have mentioned it. I want to merge the Wolverines in this post-apocalyptic end state brain cannon as somebody that really needed some help. And that's why the Renegades got sent. So these are going to be Mercer's Wolverines instead of Powers Booth character, the Air Force pilot they link up with. They'd be linking up with Mercer. And that's how I justify them as background characters on my shelf, right? So I've got the sketches started for guys like Robert. I know which figure I'm going to use for Robert. I know which materials I got to use, like which ones I got to use green stuff for, or salvage soft bits. And we did Rob. So yeah, Robert is going to be, I believe, that the one right there, which is an Avatar figure, not the movie Avatar, that manga crap Avatar. Pardon me if I call it crap and you guys like it. It's just a general term for anything I don't watch. And then this one I thought was cool because of the big buff he has. He actually was a bad looking one, man. And I was like, okay, let's go. And then that will be for, who did we have that for? That'll be for Matt. So Matt's the one I'm looking forward to do the most, because Matt's the one that's wearing that Russian tanker cam. And that's when, as soon as that Wolverines concept came up, that was it, guys. So yeah, and I'll just go in from there. I'll throw in a Jed. I'll throw in I think this is going to be one of the girls, Erica or Tony or something. And then you heard me joking, I'll probably throw in some Scooby-Doo guys in there too. So let's go up the chat. I see Loki talking up to Shane. Shane, you guys are getting all good. It's a small chat today, and like I said, guys, I'm going to show more of Sci-Fi today, and some things that I use, and I don't know, like yeah, I don't know if it's useful or not, but it's not just, they're not really just hacks. They're more like something I found really good. So if Aaron is still in the chat, looks like he is. Yeah. Loki's like surplus gear. Okay, cool. Yeah. And Aaron, such great. Yeah, it really was, eh? Like when he said it, at first I was like, oh, that's a neat suggestion. And then I thought about it. I was like, have I seen this yet? No, has anyone done that? And I didn't think they had. And if they had, more power to them. I'd like to see what they came with too. Like, and just because I'm doing it, guys, it was a grievance suggestion. It's a suggestion given to a conversion guy that you like we said on Aaron's channel just now. No gatekeeping here, man. Go have at her. If you want to do yours, man. I'm absolutely doing mine. So I'm going to give old Stuart here, Sci-Fi, just a little dry brush of a lightened yellow. And then I'll show you the cool things I got going on with that. But one of the things I wanted to show you with it is these pencils. I don't know if anybody else is using these, but I'm about to go through a bunch of these. And Shane Crow, you need the old Air Force pilot, dude. Old Air Force pilot. Which one? Oh, yeah. The Powers Booth character. Yeah, he'll still be there, but I'm just trying to say Mercer would be the real iconic one. But yeah, I'm gonna try and cram in as all the key cast. The one I was working on last was Aardvark, right? So Aardvark was to me almost like oh geez, I gotta get this right. That way. It's Aardvark to me would be the whatchamacallem. He's almost like the Falcone in his appearance with his camouflage. And that's the thing. I wanted to do them because you gave me the right reason to do a winter camouflage when you gave me the Wolverines. I was like, fuck yes, I can do some winter camouflage. I can do Russian, American, ad hoc, teenage. Maybe I'll do a letter jacket for a football player. So yeah, these pencils are great if you don't want to do dry brushing for such a small detail. What you do is I'm going to take this little piece of pipe, and I swear to God, I'm going to get this reverse inverted camera stuff going. I'm going to switch the light so you guys can see it. and they're just a highlighting pencil that you just rub over it. So this was black, and now I'm making it gunmetal just by highlighting over this area that I want gunmetal, right? So you can see the appeal for having that with a lot of the Joe weapons that come in that flat black, and you're looking for something to buff it out with. And let's see if you can see that very well. Yeah, I don't know that my screen's so small. I don't know if you can make it out, but I'll just do this for a minute. And yeah, so these pencils are like $2. And I've got like droves of them now, but I find I only use them for limited things. There's streaking dirt, there's rubber, there's gunmetal. Have a nice trip. Thanks, Vader. Yeah, leaving in a couple of days, and be gone for about a week, and then I'm coming back. In that time, like I said, digital diary, and will be good to go, and I'm going to be able to move on to the next deal that I got, which is hopefully that his team and maybe some ninjas. Let's have a look. There we go. Need to get some of those pencils. Yeah, I find them handy. I don't use them as much as I thought, but yeah. Okay, your internet. Oh, I'm sorry, man. Aaron says his is good to go. And oh, my camera's doing okay. All right. Yeah, it's my camera's doing okay. It's just it's an iPhone 11, and let me get a pencil with the company name on it, guys, because I don't use yellow. Oh, these are from AK. Okay, so AK makes paints as well. I know I got a couple of theirs. There's a pearl metallic white by them. So you're looking for AK. And in Canada, these are about $2 to $4, I should say, depending on where you get them. So in the States, I imagine you can get them for the cost of a stick of gum, right? Ollie's probably just throws them in bags with $5.99 soldiers. And your dreams are better than mine, and your lives are better than mine. What? No, I'm ranting. Crimson uses paint markers. Yeah, I had a couple of those I was using for a while. I just don't like it when I can't predict when they're going to dry out because I'm a senile 50-year-old messed up head. I forget to put caps on things, and then I screw right up, right? So yeah, so it's starting to buff out, and that's all it is. So let's see. Weathering sticks. Yeah, I'm a bit of a slob and a knob with weathering sticks. I'm still got a lot of old War School Warhammer 40K stuff left over from back when Games Workshop was sucking up my money teeth. And so I still use a few of their dry brush products when I can find it. And this is that blood gore effect. And I was listening to Aaron on the last stream about the blood in the back of the truck. I got to find a bottle to send him. But if any of you guys are in your local Games Workshop area and are looking for something that would be cool for Aaron to use in his hobbies, find him a bottle of this, because right now my local friendly gaming store is out. And that's what it is. It's technical blood. So this is the stuff you'll see a lot of guys use. It makes the blood look fresh and splatter. It doesn't dry out and dull. It looks like you could drip it off the miniature 3 years after you put it on, right? Same as typhus corrosion is a nice, it's one of many different rusts I've been using, but the weathering pencils, for some reason, I'm a complete thud fuck. So yeah, Aaron, you always leave. Yeah, exactly. If it's a liquid, I'm going to dry it out. Let's have a look. Ask, I got 10 of them stashed in case of hand grenades. Yeah, okay. Shane's good to go. Yeah. Let's see. Blood for the blood god. Yeah, Amazon. There you go. And yeah. Aaron doesn't just need blood. He needs a ton of blood from what I can see. He's got that pickup truck, which is going to be stacking some bodies. You know what that reminded me of when you were talking about it? Yeah, we talked about deer hunting. But so Aaron's got this RC Chevy that's perfect for a classified custom conversion. And what he wants to do is rack it up at like a technical, like a utility truck, much like what you would see I would call the Afghan National Army using as their main vehicle of operations. But you can mount a 50 cal on it. You saw them in Somalia in Black Hawk Down. They used them. You can mount, an 80 millimeter and up on them. But in the end, they're just a pickup truck. But he wants to stack up Cobra bodies in the back of it, so he's going to need a lot of blood. And that just reminded me of the end of the Night of the Living Dead. When the humans kind of took care of all the zombies at the end, and your hero comes out and he's a zombie, but they're stacking them up and burning them and putting them in the truck. Yeah. Let's go some new comments. Let's see. Do you think you'd be interested? Okay, so Crimson Vader, Loki, you guys are hitting it up. Yeah. Great Vallejo, Tux. Okay, so I said I would show you guys sci-fi so far. Okay. Yeah, so I'll finish up the hair on him later in a bit. But we'll put that head on first. So the idea I had for sci-fi was he was the one character I was going to permit myself to just go really far-fetched and kind of over the top with the creative idea. And it was the idea that he would be like a casualty of his own device. Like if you guys watch that movie, The Hurt Locker, that silly fucking film, the guy talks about how bomb makers are often bitten by their own devices, right? And that's true. That is true. A lot of IEDs do that, go off ahead of time. And so I pictured, a guy like Stuart, what was his name? Stuart Finn, Stuart Meany, Stuart Fine, I think was it. He would have been the guy that was working with the most volatile of tech, right? So I added that it all blew up. Maybe he was paralyzed. Maybe he got fucked up. Bottom line is he kind of needs some technical support, so he has to disguise himself a little bit more when he's out and about because he's off-putting, like Peter Sellers was in RoboCop kind of deal. And so yeah, I just have to. I don't know if we'll keep the hat on there, but so I wanted the scarf on there because it covers up his technical chest, and he is a winter variant, so I had to come up with some winter stuff for him. And but that, like I said, this head was more of a. Sorry, that lighting. This head was more of a. What's the word? It's the only kind of thing I could think of using the head for that applied to Joe as far as that sci-fi technical look that it had ingrained in it. It was one of the ones that Loki sent me. But when we get rid of the vest and we put the helmet on, I like it just a bit more, but it just kind of reminds me a bit too much of Halo. But that's that converted steel core helmet that I added some bits to. And then I tried to do like this rain effect cam pat where it kind of goes dark wanting to be light down to light wanting to be dark kind of deal. So and then I've got a weapon on there that I've got put off to the side. Sorry, I just realized I am way behind in the chat, or am I good? Let's see. I can never see. Oh, never saw Hurt Locker. Yeah, it's Hurt Locker was a movie that was really overhyped in that, they depicted this sergeant engineer. He's EOD, and he basically has the knowledge of almost every infantry trait on top of that, which isn't that far reaching. You could get trained and stuff like that, but he was just a master of the 50 cal, and the gate policy in a base is not so lax that he could get away with doing the shit he was doing, playing vigilante. And the stuff he was doing, shutting down his team on comms, very unrealistic. We would never do that to each other. It was very dramatized. So I would say, yeah, go into it with moderate expectations. It's a Jeremy Renner action film. So the figure I used for this, guys, I have no idea if it was an Apex figure or what. It was some sort of spacey sci-fi figure. And I think I still have the other component of it somewhere here. Let me just have a look because I've popped it up in a couple of videos. He had a different torso, and if I can find it, I'll put it up. But he had a different torso entirely. I had this hose cable almost like these ones. In fact, a lot like these ones, and it went down. And he had this sci-fi helmet and all this other stuff. But then, yeah, I effed up his shoulder really bad. Couldn't use that right away. I have to do a lot of custom repairs to it to even try. So I swapped it out with a who was it? War Machine torso that I picked up at Cobalt's Corner for like 25 cents, $2. And the arm joints were compatible. Everything was compatible. And yeah, so The steel core flight helmet for the male, I just added a couple of bits. I still haven't finished that back paneling now that I think about it. But yeah, and then the legs are the original characters. The feet are a different set of McFarlane's because like uh, like you noted, Aaron, with that Night Wolf character, right? That toe hinge, you can use them for different poses. I'm gonna quickly get caught up in the chat, and I'm gonna have a look at there. Okay, well that's it. Okay, because we're probably not that many. A7, yeah, that's right. So the weapon is kind of one of the features I wanted to do. I wanted him to have like, because he's Arctic. I was like, well, like he's got to have the sci-fi gun. He's got to have a science fiction weapon, but I can't just recreate theirs. Yeah, Shane, I love my Steel Core troopers too, but not as much as I'm enjoying this hobby. And they are problematic figures for a lot of things, but they're great to have. And like I said, I will replenish them and have an original Steel Cores again. But yeah, I've got so many Steel Core helmets right now, just between grunts and them. I just don't know what to do, right? So it's a bit busy. I've got to do a wash and some weathering to it to get it to dull down a little bit. But the weapon was the kind of the feature I was going to do. So I knew I had to have a laser gun, or else it's just not sci-fi, and it just kind of ties it together. And I had to have the hose. So this is where magnets come in handy sometimes. So I did them up kind of like a heavy cutting laser kind of deal with the hose, and that hose just magnetically clips into his back. So I'm gonna struggle fuck this into his hands like a drunk. Never mind, I'm not taking that a step further with my train of thought. The army just came out a little bit. I am going to gently put this in my character's hands and tell your children to leave the room if they were there. And Uncle Crow's sorry. Yeah, so all right, that worked out actually pretty quick. We'll put the helmet back on, and yeah, more or less this is going to be how sci-fi looks. I've got to do some decal work yet, a little bit of polishing, but that's his big ass laser. Do I love it? No, don't love it. I think it's all right, but it kept me busy, and it was mine, right? You'll never see a sci-fi like that. And I gotta get checked up. Okay, the Marines from Aliens, a little bit big, are they? I haven't bought any. I haven't seen any of those. Or if I have, they weren't on sale, so I wasn't even considering them, because most of the shops out here I find are really trying to capitalize on niche figures, but they're not really watching the market, right? So, for example, My Hero Academia, I get them at the dollar store. I don't even know what that is. I don't even like any show they're a part of. I just buy them to junk them. $4 at a dollar store, but yeah, at GameStop, the same figure's going for 14. It's just, distributors aren't paying attention. So, Loki, you have the sci-fi kit in his gun. Don't send it. I don't. It's not on the list yet. Now that I've done a winter one, I'm not in a rush. But I appreciate it. But if you guys want to do a sci-fi, hit up Loki Wartooth. He's our buddy. He's my quote unquote sponsor, as in he's more like my drug dealer for 3D prints. And I know Aaron, it feels the same way for him. We got mad props to that guy for a lot of our projects. And if you need a part, if you want to work on a character, I tell you, hit him up on Insta, Model Misfits 1138. Tell him what you want to work on and let him get back to you. He's a busy guy. Give him some time. He's not ignoring you. He's thinking. Leave it at that. But yeah, he can definitely get you a sci-fi. So let's have a look there. Yeah, okay, you guys liking it? Thank you very much. Too many Marine Corps brothers. I know where your head was going. Yeah, exactly. Right. Dark humor. Crimson Vader got it. GI Crow, if it doesn't fit, struggle fuck it in there. Yeah. I don't know if I should pop that one up. Should I? Yeah. There's an Aliens weapons pack with the turret. Oh, okay. Oh, wicked. Yeah, that could have a lot of potential for conversions, eh? I'm almost caught up. Yeah, Aaron agrees. Loki, you're definitely our dealer. So yeah, the Well, I'm going to put him up on my shelf right now. I'm done working on him for now until I'm ready to do some decals. I picture doing a few decals with the gun to winter it up. And then I got to do some winter weathering to kind of bring that green fade down a bit. But the one thing I had to try and do, and I didn't want to do it, I had to, guys, was that incorporating that silver into a light green. I really kept the light green minimum because I think it's ugly. But and maybe I should make sure there was more light green. But getting that chrome striping, I just ad hoc something, and I tell you, that's one of the things I didn't like about doing that was just bleh, boring. But you know what? He gets to go up there for now, and well, Jesus, I can get up there, and yeah, there we go. All right, so you guys want to know what's coming up, right? Like good old Loki, he was showing me my kit's ready to go. It's going to be heading out our way soon. So you'll see us, the V2 Stalker coming soon with that kayak. There we go. He's going to have that kayak and all that other stuff. And I got some winter accessories to keep going with the Joes. And, you know, like I said, the Widow Scarlet may not look that wintry, but I wanted her more like a ranger than like a winter ranger than say perhaps the Arctic Cam. But I am still working on Blizzard. He's still on the go, and I gotta get caught up on the chat. And so Loki has My Hero Academy. I'd be calling it Academia, but it's probably just like Academy. I'm not sure. Yeah, those little bodies are going to be handy for sure. Oh, hang on a second. All right, so Bobby Wolf, we were watching the episode My Brother's Keeper. There's a scene with Sci Fi in Ben's quarters, and my wife was pointing out, why is this guy in full uniform, right? And that's the thing. I loved about when Punk was doing his. If you guys watch Punk with Toys, he did his snow job conversion, where it was like, what does snow job look like when he's not sweating his balls off in the pit wearing snow job uniform? He's wearing standard stuff, and you can't tell me the only environment snow job will operate in is winter. So good on you, Punk, for hitting that. But yeah, exactly. Sometimes you want to see the guys geared down. You know what I always wanted to see? I'll tell you a conversion I've been on the fence about. You guys know I was talking about doing a like a watchdog kind of character or a watchkeeper, like a PR agent. But the more I found out about what watchdog and what that was, and Joe Laura, I was like, well, you can't make watchdog. It's a sentient program that fucks them over. It's actually, you know, it's the worst thing ever. But I always thought, I see these Everett Ross Marvel Legends characters going on, and that Everett Ross is what I'm using for Blizzard, right? Because it under the helmet, it'll be fine. It's a fine head. But getting a few of these are Fred's. And I said that during my Crimson Guard review. You're getting Crimson Guard, right? When you get the Crimson Guard, glorious as they look, you're getting them in their parade dress, meaning they show up only maybe on special missions and functions like this. The rest of the time, they're plain clothes and doing just as dangerous shit in plain clothes. And I would have liked to have seen some like more covert operative figures that would work with Joe. So realizing there's no money in that with Hasbro, I think that would be a kind of a cool thing, is to have a collection of Fred's or Laura's, right? Some deco. Okay, my kid loves it. Yeah, okay. Yeah, Loki. Yeah, you like the green glow? Yeah. I'm different, man. The neons of the 80s really irked me even when I was a kid of the 80s. Like I hated that whole poppy eyesore neon glow. And while Sci-Fi's original color isn't actually neon, and I realized that, it came out in that time and it was so close to it to me. I was just like, oh God, right? Oh, that's a older version. But this is the green we're talking about, right? It was just too close to neon green for me to palette. And I remember having the figure and like I said, it was like yeah, the laser trooper was something I respect more as an adult now that I understand how lasers work and where the benefits are. But when you were a kid, those Joe guns that everybody has, I'll pull one off Jay's pack. These things is part of the scrim I put on mine, but these, everybody was firing these, so everybody was a laser trooper as I saw it. What few times I saw the cartoon, like, when we were at a hotel or something, I managed to get it one day, and they were firing those. I was like, everybody's a laser trooper. Robot Chicken nailed that about the snow job. Yeah, I remember those episodes. Yeah, Robot Chicken was great for ripping on them. What's Bobby saying? A good body to Hector Ramirez. Okay. Why do I know that name, Hector Ramirez? It'll come to me. It'll come to me. Bobby, you got me stumping right now. The suits for the twins. Yeah, the Crimson Twins in suits. That's a great idea too. I hadn't thought about the Crimson Twins. What I want to do with my Crimson Twins, I have them put down, is I want to make, I want to kind of play on that whole daggers thing they got going on, like that they're actually got some fighting skills, and just have it like, in my in-state lore, where the Paoli brothers are just maybe a little bit more menacing than just corporate, pigeons. But they actually go out and just kill for fun sometimes, and they'll do those so in these different attires. So I kind of was playing with some concepts of them with masks. Yeah. But suits. Yeah, absolutely. Boardroom payolis. Absolutely. Let's have a look here. Yeah, and that's why this is a good point, Crimson. A lot of the time when I'm working on a conversion, I'm in the back of my mind, I'm like, okay, well, how long till Hasbro actually makes this figure? Probably not that long, a year or two. And then mine becomes kind of silly or obsolete. It just has sentimental value, right? But at the same time, different people are going to have different hacks. But Hasbro will stay more true to an original than I feel committed to a lot of the times. Yeah, they do change colors. And I do think they would darken Sci-Fi for a bit of shelf appeal. But then at the same time, they're not afraid to let it pop, are they? Let's see, Bobby. Oh, Hector Ramirez, the Joe character. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, the reporter. Okay. Yeah. I know who Hector is now. Crimson. I got you. Yeah. And Shane. Got it. You're doing a 3 3/4-inch dial with those? Yeah. So, yeah, that's a good question, too. Like, that's another reason why I'm not doing any of the O-ring stuff, is because I would be too tempted to try and do conversions with them. And that is such a brittle plastic. You guys remember, like, that's Snappy Thumbs and No Crotch, right? And Snappy Thumbs and No Crotch weren't a lot of fun for me as a kid. I don't know about you, but yeah. But yeah, doing customs with them, I think it would just be repaints and bit swaps, but not a whole lot of necessary like hardcore customizing, just a lot of graceful customizing, I think. Yeah. So how long have I been on here? 38 minutes, eh? I'm going to stay on for an hour, guys, and then I'm going to call it. I wanted to try out this StreamYard that Aaron suggested. I wanted to see how all these little buttons work. I wanted to see things like Loki telling somebody that it's a good comment. I'm just fucking around with it, guys. But I figured get some experience with it a little bit. So when I come back from England, I might try and do one more. Either, I think I'm leaving on Wednesday, so I'll probably, if I do one by Tuesday, great. If I haven't done one by Tuesday or Wednesday, it's not coming until when I get back that first week back from England. Probably a day after I get back, I'll hop on a live. And that was the other thing I wanted to talk about there. Yeah. Oh, your dial's gonna have that sounds badass. Yeah. Like on an aircraft carrier, like the decks, like beat, beat. That'd be awesome. Yeah. And lost a lot of thumbs on those lines. But yeah, when I come back from England, I remember now, all this time I've been saying I'm going to be hunting Valorverse. And I don't think that's the one I was thinking of. There's got to be, is it Action Force that England makes a big deal about? Like their Action Force. Yeah, it's Action Force. I'm going to try and hunt down some Action Force. Just to have some things out there. See if I can find any deals or anything like that. That's the only thing I could think of in there. I can't see it being worthwhile or being at all a cost savings to buy a classified out there or anything like that. But Action Force isn't something I see a lot of out here in Ottawa at all. And I got that nifty stand. I should probably throw a figure on that, right? So we'll see what goes on with that. Yeah, Shane's like, yeah, Action Force. You're right. Yeah. There's a pretty funny commercial for Snake Eyes movie that I feel Robot Chicken, PSA, like Robot Chicken, and it had PSA kids. Yeah. Oh my God, Robot Chicken, man! Like to this day, I cannot get the words nail Hobra or what is it? Yeah, nail Hobra out of my head or whatever it is he says when they're talking doing that day at the Cobra factory. And did that guy just say, "Hey, nail Cobra," or what was it, Kale Hobra, right? And he goes and beats him to death. Robot Chicken was genius for its time, especially. It still holds up for a lot of its stuff now, right? Sorry, guys, gotta have my coffee and my beautiful Leafs mug. They pulled out another win against your guys' New York Rangers the other day. But I realized it's. I know when I talk to a group of Canadians, they're huge hockey fans. When I talk to a group of Americans, it's hit or miss, and that's I understand that. You guys got a lot of other good sports, right? Oh, okay. Oh, and fumbles, yeah. What was that last one? There it is. I would love that. I would love the building that's on the deck of the flag. Oh, in 1/12 scale. Yeah, so I'm sure you could probably find somebody 3D printing that Crimson online on Etsy or one of those places. I don't know if Loki's looked at doing something of that part, but I'm going to warn you right now, Crimson. A 1/12 scale command deck of an aircraft carrier, dioramic, about yay big probably, or bigger. So you're looking at a pretty expensive piece, buddy. But yeah, absolutely. It would even be worth it to just tackle trying to maybe see about doing one out of polystyrene wood or other materials. It might be a lot more cost effective, but because it's a hard metal structure, right, and not, then there's lots of designs to look at, lots of pictures of aircraft carrier decks, and because it's the flag and it's a GI Joe, you can do it any other way. I'll make your own. Oh, that's just a recommendation. 3D printing is the way to go. Yeah. If you can get your hands on the Action Force head pack. Oh yeah, heads. Yeah, Crayon Slayer. Yeah, I was getting Valorverse and Action Force blended into my head because, like I said, guys, I am new to this whole market. I was doing Hot Wheels, hockey card collecting, Warhammer 40K, comic collecting, and now I landed on Joe's because Joe's is what I was doing when I was a child. But I wasn't paying attention to the toy figure market till about March of last year. And so finding things out the hard way, right? But Action Force heads, yeah, I would get some of those. Let's see. Tactical battle platform only costing you $180. Okay. Yeah, that's fair. That's cool. And who knows? Maybe you can find it under that. Like I said, it's hit or miss. It is what it is. But yeah, let me know if you do find something like that. Man, when you get that tactical battle platform all slapped together, definitely hit us up with some pics on the channel. Like the email you've been sending them. I'm gonna get your stuff together for more subscriber stuff based soon. But definitely send them in, and I will include them. I'd love to see a tactical battle platform, 3D print proven, and then find out where you got it. That would be a good centerpiece. And that's what we were talking about on Aaron's live today. Was the thing is, when you're doing a big Dio project, right? Like, and I'm taking my sweet ass time with my Cobra one, I know, because I have the time, same as the other thing. You got to think about, if you're doing it for yourself, fine, but if you're doing it for somebody else, what about that shelf space? What are they displaying with, right? Loki says it depends on what it's printed into. Yeah, man. That's true too. I don't have a lot of experience. Loki's the guy for talking about resin, but I've had 3D printed game pieces for 40K and games like that. And I've seen different types of print resin do different types of things. And it really is, sometimes a matter of that. And sometimes a photo won't show you that. But man, I hope it works out. I'm sure you're on top of it, Crimson. Let us know how that works out, man. It'd be awesome. Yeah. Okay. And yeah, that's what it breaks down to for everything, right? Cheaper than the original battle platform, because to buy the Joe battle platform for even O-ring scale right now would be more than 180. I don't know, guys. The more I get into converting and having fun, 3D prints and all that, do I have a milkshake on my mustache? This was awesome. That digital diarrhea included some gridiron stuff in there. It was the Saboteur kit, and it was just a broken post. But he just said, "Yeah, I'm not going to use it because it's got a broken post." So he gave it to me with that stuff. And yeah, I can see myself doing one or two gridiron stuff to help conversions along. But the big thing I'm doing with conversions is I need to kill my time. I'm retired. I'm used to being a busy, soldier. I'm used to working in an ops department. I'm used to teaching troops, or before that, I was used to doing stuff in the field and having a good time. So I find I'm going nuts, like absolutely crazy with boredom half the time. And then this conversion shit started going down. So I'm going to start on the Wolverines right now. I'm going to start on my favorite one, which was the Tommy one, I think, on the sketchbook there. And the reason, sorry, I'm not trying to, yeah, Loki, that's right, buddy. We do have so many. You're not the only fish in the sea, but man, you're a tasty fish, buddy. I definitely am going to keep eating that kind of fish. But yeah, gridiron. Yeah, absolutely. That was the thing that was deterring me too. I was like, is this going to be the norm for conversions that you have to go with gridiron? No, you don't have to. It's a nice treat yourself kind of thing. So I was just going to pull out, which one was Tommy? Was this figure? I got to make sure before I base it. Matt. Sorry, Matt. So the reason I went with, you go with Krylon 2-in-1. I went with flat black. I've used gray before. And you do the dry brush gray. This was something I learned from Matt Ma Films. He does Star Wars Black Series conversions. And yeah, you'll see no articulation on these for a lot of things, right? But that's just a great way to start off. So I'll just do a hard dry brush on these. Let's see. Oh, yeah, Shane the Billy. Yeah, and that's the thing, eh? Like, there's a lot of great Joe sub characters, and I'm just learning about Billy still, reading up on him. Man, I just found out about Laura 343 like a month ago, and some of the other characters that weren't in a toy shelf collection when I was a kid. They were involving some investigating. So yeah, I could understand the Billy. It's hard to come up with a hierarchy of which ones you want to do, right? Which ones you want to do sooner than others. And maybe that's the other thing I need from you guys is like, I want to do the odd contest for sure, but I want to have like a regular jam about some of the concepts that you guys are thinking about and things like that. But I'm going to talk about concepts I'm thinking about, but I also like to hear about the toy talk and things like that. But I want to talk about the characters and your interpretations of them sometimes, like which were your favorites and why, right? Like, my military experience just kind of skews it all. And I am the victim of a guy going, well, that's not realistic, right? Like the movie Hand Grenades. Hand grenades in movies drive me nuts, and I drive the people around me nuts by going, oh, bullshit, But I really like hearing what drew you guys into the other characters in the line. So that's stuff I want to talk about in live sometimes. So let's see. Billy is Cobra Commander's son. Yeah, he is. Yeah. And the thing that drove me off Billy as a custom was yet another eye patch character, right? So Laura 343 had an eye patch. Major Blood had an eye patch. Who else? There's been a few with eye patches. Billy now had an eye patch. Like people are losing their eyes left and right in Joe, right? And so I wanted to do a Snake Plissken. That was the other reason. And he has an eye patch. So I was just like, okay, no, Dr. Mindbender, no, it doesn't count as an eye patch. It's a monocle. But I was just kind of like, man, that's a lot of eye stuff going on. I'm going to take my time. If I ever do a Billy, it would be with the eye patch, of course. But not on my hierarchy right now. G.I. Joe is unrealistic, buddy. Let me tell you. No. Yeah, of course it is. It's a kid's cartoon. It was a product to sell the U.S. population back into loving its military after the Vietnam War again, right? Vietnam almost destroyed that line. They had to switch over to doing these. You remember they were this big during the 60s and 70s. And they used to fight Germans and Japanese and whatever. And then after Vietnam, they switched over to fighting cavemen and monster people. And so, yeah, I mean, we all know the story of Joe. It was there to relaunch the love in the Reaganomics era, and it succeeded, but wasn't realistic, only to a point. Because realism wouldn't sell well with parents, right? And so on and so forth. So, yeah, let's see. Eric, do you have it? Billy from Predator. Yeah. So what? Billy from Predator. Yeah. So Aaron, you're doing that. I can't remember the gladiator's name. Ragor. But yeah, Billy from Predator. That was the other one I was thinking of the other day. And I was like, man, you should, because of the if it doesn't work out, or just get another one. Do both. Because of your Predator sub storyline in your movies, I thought, yeah, man, Billy from Predator is perfect. I found an awesome wanted poster for Snake Plissken. Oh yeah. Oh, that's awesome. Like, is it a Google print or something, like it's something you printed on your color printer, that kind of thing, or was it a kit, like a download? Because yeah, wanted posters, those are awesome for displays. And I had a page and a half of leftover stuff when I was working. I worked in an ops department, and if you don't know what that means in the military, it means I was the guy that booked ranges and made sure colonels got properly briefed on what events were going on in their base and things like that. And it was busy, thankless job. That was my last couple of years. But one of the things I had access to was a full color printer at carte blanche. So I painted off all these downloads of maps and signs and whatnot. I recently burned through them all. I managed to send one to Aaron, and I would love to send one to Loki, but I can't find any that were complete. I just have little dribs and drabs, and they're almost all gone. But yeah, wanted posters. What a great thing to have, eh? Dutch from Predator in your Joe army. There you go. Yeah. I'm a sexual Tyrannosaurus. Was that Dutch? Was that Jesse the Body? Was he Dutch? Trying to remember that, but that sexual Tyrannosaurus line. And yeah, having him with the big phalanx gun, that'd be awesome. Oh, geez, I'm not scrolling quick here. Looks like some of you guys are working at some little dealy deals. Shane, Loki, that's good. Cut me in. I want to cut of the take. 25%. Nope, that's too high. 1%. No, that's too low. None percent. Shut up. Yeah, so this is how it's going there. So once I get this done on there, I'll probably be starting to work in my cam pattern right away for that Russian tanker cam that the character wore, Matt. And that's what I loved about it was when you do the Wolverines, yeah, I'll try and keep a few of them, most of them as close to original characters. Maybe the heads won't look the same, but their uniforms and things like that, I'll challenge myself, try to make them very much look like the Red Dawn originals as best as I can, including Powers Booth. But as far as will they just be a small unit? I don't know. Depends on how long I'm doing the Joe stuff for. That could end up with a squad of 20 broken characters that all go down. But now I'm trying to think of which one I want to use as Mercer. I have a Torox. I got to think of a Red Dog to throw in on there too. Ramar, thank you, Aaron. Ramar. You know what? I don't think I've seen that episode. Yeah. Crimson Vader. That's a great question. I got to throw that up there, guys. Yeah, Cobra stickers. So I imagine you're running into the same problem I am, right? When you're doing a conversion, it's great when you use a Cobra torso of a trooper and they have that lifted, raised emblem that you can just repaint or dry brush over, no problems, and make it, a Cobra figure. But how do I make this Cobra if I don't have the sticker? I can't freehand that Cobra emblem, man. I can draw okay. I can paint okay. But but I can't do that. I'm not a photocopier. So yeah, decals or stickers for Cobra. If you guys know of any of those, feel free to post links at any point, for me and Vader. Just going through there. Yeah. Oh, thanks very much, Loki. Yeah. It wasn't what I thought it would be. Oh, she fell down. It wasn't what I thought it would turn out to be, but I wanted to move on, and it was passable. Quite honestly, the main thing was I'd gotten a really great, like by great I mean $15 Canadian deal on the older Scarlet from the line. This one up here, freckly girl, and I'd never had her in my hand before, and she was actually way better, I thought, than what I did originally think of her. So I was even more enticed to get rid of that Snake Eyes Origins one. As much as I like the head, I say the head. But I mean, as far as having a real Scarlet, it's got to be the retro one, right? That's, I mean, all Scarlets are real Scarlets. But won't that just be the right one, right? So I didn't mind painting that one. Okay, before I address Bobby's there, Shane, a Cricut printer thing. Yeah, I think that's what Aaron's wife, Aaron the Toy Answer, I think that's what Missy is using. I've heard of a few others. I think I'm going to look into picking one up. Here's my piece of advice for you guys on Cricut, okay? Here's your little insider scoop that makes you all glad you tuned in before I close out. Maybe I'll go a little over an hour, not much. After I retired from the military, I got really bored sitting on my hands for a little while, so I went and took a part-time job at Values Village, which is the thrift store I shop at. I did that to get an employee's discount on my Hot Wheel bulk bags of all things, and to kill time and get some good retro T-shirts. I quit after I got my hernia. It just wasn't worth it, and I don't have any intention of going back to working again. I've done it. But Cricut printers and all the accessories show up at Value Village in droves. We can't get rid of them. It's like a bread maker wedding present. Like everybody buys one. I love Cricut. And then they're like, oh, I'm not very good at this. And then they get rid of it. All right. A lot of old women take these Cricuts a ton. Oh, it's a new hobby for me. Yes, Grandma, enjoy your Cricut. Oh, we got Grandma Cricut supplies for Christmas. That's great. And then Grandma dies. Well, where's all her shit go? It goes to these places like Value Village. It goes to a donation charity, right? And these they're not bad places because, like, for example, your grandmother dies and her Cricut ends up going to the Cerebral Palsy Foundation because she died of that. And then Savers, which is what you guys have in the States, will buy all of the stuff donated to them. By its weight, they'll pay the Cerebral Palsy and then they'll sell that stuff. That's how these things work, right? They're always funded like that. So they're not a nonprofit. They're a nonprofit, for-profit, something like that. Anyways, Cricut supplies, all hobby shit. Always check these places because especially anything you do with your hands, if it was done by an old hobbyist, it ends up there a lot of the times. There's your tip right there, guys. The amount of good crap I got there when I was working there because I knew what it was and the people pricing it didn't. Etsy has decals. There you go. Yeah, the movie Scarlet. That's the one I converted, Shane. I like it. It was a respectable figure. I just knew I had the retro one coming, and I'm so into converting, and I needed Winter Troops. The wife told her to get one. Good for you. Yeah, I think everybody needs one, but I think we're all in the same boat. But is it a priority when you're spending your money on your hobbies? It feels like an outlier to go and buy a Cricut. But I bet you anybody who has it is going, yeah, but you're an idiot if you don't. Go get it, right? And I think I will buy mine used, like I said, and all that other stuff. And that's the thing, guys. My ADHD causes me to often bite more than I can chew, and I gotta set realistic goals. One of the worst things I've done for myself is I bought 2 3D printers, one resin, one filament. Not bad ones, from what I'm told. They're good ones. Enders and an Ender Pro and another, I can't remember what the other one, mainline one. I've never set them up. I've never bought an ounce of resin for them. I've had them for over a year. They were part of my retirement plan to just print game terrain and stuff. I don't know when I'll ever get around to printing them up. I like the idea of involving someone else to print them for me, it seems. But yeah, if I were to do it all over again, I would have probably just tried to buy one used first and see if it was even for me. And definitely do that, guys. If you can buy something and you're going to get old, try borrowing it from a buddy first for a while if you can, or renting it if it's something high end. Do all that, because we all know how much this hobby can eat into your money, and we all know what buyer's remorse is about, right? Is that Igloo? That was the other one I had. Yeah, you're right. Igloo, yeah. Yeah, the Ender's Man now. Yeah, right. Like all tech, you hang on to it too long and then it's obsolete, right? And that's at the time I bought my Ender, it was probably good. Now it's just mediocre, and that's fine. If I ever do set it up, it's not like I'm trying to make a business out of it. I'll be just printing little things here and there. But I also don't think I had the proper software to run them based on my tablet. I bought a very high end, like the most expensive tablet I could get. But couldn't run that software. I still haven't found out, and I've been told by other people probably wouldn't, and that's embarrassing. All right, so I've got that gray done on that. Now I'm going to do that to the other guys. Some will be white. This one's going to be special. But hey, anybody got any questions? I am going to set to close this out in the next 5-10 minutes. Anything you wanted to see? I know some guys wanted to see that Cobra Commander again. I showed that on my last live, but I can show you that turtle center that I'm gonna do something with. But yeah, if you guys have anything you wanted to see that I'm just not showing enough of, let me know and I can show more. Maybe I'll have to end the next few lives that way, because I kind of rush everything, right? But if not, hey, don't forget, if you could, I know there's not that many of us, but just you make sure that likes hit. I'll because the algorithm I think takes score who was there and who liked it. But that was the other Wolverine I'm doing, is that she's got this sweater. I'm gonna do this up as a letter jacket, like the ones that they wore when they were at their high school. That goes around her waist, but that's a mashup of the Star Wars Shayvera, or whatever her name was, and some Fortnite female with a toque, and I'll do that. Okay. For camo, so you just saw part of it. First get a good base down, and then when who did I have a camo that I could refer to that would be worth doing? Jesus Christ, guys, I'm trying to think of who I did a good camo on. Let me use Shadow Stalker. I think he was all right, wasn't he? No, he's buried. All right, I'll just use Scarlet. Fuck it. All right, I gotta go at some point. So I don't know, between looking at Google, guys, the first thing I'll do is I'll think about, where do I want the character to fit in on the shelf? Is it going to be a night forest, tiger forest? Is it going to be woodland? Is it going to be winter? And then I'll Google military camo pattern for that season, right? Or that climate. So when you're looking for desert cam, don't forget to type in the word arid every now and then, or temperate. There's all types of cams, so I'll pick a bunch of those, and then I'll just be realistic as to what I think I have the brushes and the patience to do. And then once I've got all that done and I've done the sketches, what I do is I start with the dry brush, like the prime and the dry brush, and then I'll map out. I'll even take a pencil sometimes, guys, like just a simple 9mm lead, because they don't break as much. 9mm leads are better than 7. And then I'll just sketch out sometimes where I'm going to want little things to show up, and just so I get the spacing right on the figure instead of just winging it, right? So if I want to do that blotch cam, I'll draw where the blotches are going to be, because that pencil will fade away as I dry brush over it. But I'll do the dry brush white next to get the white down. That'll let me see the pencil through it. And then I'll use like a lighter, finer point to start working the greens and the browns and things like that in. And really after that, guys, just like with the Scarlet Legs and with the Shadow Tracker and everything, it's really just plainly a matter of layering and what you wanted to throw into it. With Scarlet, I wanted to throw in some of her breastplate color into that cam, which I normally wouldn't do, but it made it more balanced, I thought. But that's kind of the process. Does that answer the question? I hope. Yeah. Oh, Crimson Vader, you're working on a Blind Master, eh? Yeah. I have some ideas on the Masters for End State, but I've never never seen anyone tackle the blind master. Well, I mean, I never looked for it. So, yeah, I want to see your blind master. Here's the only blind master I'm going to look for, Crimson Vader. I do not wish to see any others until yours is presented to us. Very good. Shane after party. Yeah, me and Aaron joke, man. We talk a fair amount offline. We've called, we've voiced. I shouldn't say a fair amount, but more than a few times. We are swapping some ideas to try and do stuff together every now and then. Because I joke with him. I'm like, yeah, I'm your hype man. You know, I'm like Flavor Flav. Yeah, boy, what time is it? Yeah, motherfucker, toy hats in the house. Yeah, oh, go catch my show after. You know, but it is what it is. It's not me trying to piggyback off of him more because he's the South and I'm the North, right? It's just more one like-minded guy. It was the same on his end. We've talked about it. It was like we both saw each other's channels, went, oh, hey dude, high five. You know, and we've gotten along since. So yeah, I have no problems hopping on after an Aaron live and giving you a place to go if I plan on being on for a while. That might be my thing. The enhancer's shadow. All right. Gotta love the boob armor. Yeah, yeah. I'm not playing pervert with my Joes, but I mean, like every now and then, you gotta have a proper female represented. And I do have another cover girl torso. I'm just not using the head for it. Saving it for a special. Got to figure out who's special enough for that kind of a look, right? Crimson Vader, you using the blind guy from Rogue One? Okay, yeah, I can see that. That'd be cool. That'll work. Oh, Aaron's still here, buddies for life. Yeah, bro. Yeah. So, you know, while I'm here, guys, I'm gonna get ready to say goodnight. And I'm gonna go and get back to having some dinner, working on some stuff. I'll probably do one more. I got to do a video review for my Scarlet and everything like that. But before I go, I'm just gonna mention with the 350 contest, we've gotten a couple of new entries in there, but one of them, the guy's not using 3 sentences and he's being kind of vague and throwing wingmen in there. So I don't know. But so far, I am all of them. I'm already, now that we're past 300, I'm getting ready to sit down with pen and paper and going, what would that look like? But remember, it's Aaron, the toy enhancer, who you have to impress with your idea. He will be the guy narrowing it down, going, Crow, I think it's this. And I will be like, okay, right? But yeah, we'll go from there. And Aaron, when we were talking to you about your Ragnar, we were talking about legs, right? Yeah, so yeah, legs. Is that the kind of idea? Because I mean, I was gifted a Motu for parts, buddy, but I know you have Motu that you collect. I don't think you have Motu parts, and you've done a lot for the channel. Let me know. I'll throw that in one day, okay? But if not, then I'll do it. I'll do exactly what Digital Diarrhea said and said they could do something with this, and I will. But if you need it for Ragnar, it makes perfect sense. All right, what do we got here? Pizza, okay. Oh, thanks very much, Shane. Yeah, you have a good night. And Loki, yeah, I'm glad you guys were able to talk. That's feel free to always have those things there. And thanks for that there, Loki. I'm glad you like that. I'm gonna add more to that. You want to know what was really cool that he sent me? Sorry, I forgot to do this. And I forgot to make a big deal of it when I was showing off that layer. But Digital Diarrhea threw in these little rats, right? Just for scrummaging around the garbage and the ammo and the food supplies, right? Oh yeah, post-apocalyptic love. But yeah, no, that's awesome. Aaron, I have no idea what Motu figure it was. He sent me 2. I just need to keep one on standby, and I figure it's going to be one of these 2 for if somebody wins the 350 contest and needs a Motu kind of look. I'll have it on standby, but you tell me which one you need. And I will absolutely send it out to you on behalf of Digital Diarrhea. Thanks. He got me a little bit. I still owe him a little bit for that parcel, and I'm going to pay him on this week. There, I had to wait till it was in the budget, but I'm sure he wouldn't mind if I shifted one of these over to another channel that's going to do something more immediate with it, like Ragnar. Let me know, buddy. Send me a text. Yeah. Okay. Perfect. Yeah. There we go. All right. I'll get that boxed up for you, buddy, and. Just it wouldn't make it to you, and I wouldn't be able to get it done before I go from England. But I'm back from England in a week after I leave, so week Thursday. So I'm back around the 16th, Aaron. I'll send that out to you like the day after. Okay, buddy. Till then, yeah, sorry, buddy. It's the Savage He-Man, and I think that's the one that Aaron has. Yeah, the Savage He-Man. It looks like it, right? And that's the thing. Why? If the guy's collecting Motu and he doesn't have spare Motu, I'm not doing that. I'll do that with Joe. But listen, guys, that's it for today. Thanks so much for tuning in on that last moment, guys, and for being there. 8 people showed up here and abouts over the time with no warning. That's really reassuring. Like that it really was. I wasn't expecting more than one. And I told Loki about the live stream, and I knew Aaron was he had plans for after his live stream. But you know, I wasn't expecting that. But I'll try to give more warning, like a couple hours more next time. But thanks very much, guys. And yeah, you guys sum it up with your business. You'll have to text it. Oh, buddy. Oh, thanks very much, Aaron. I know what you're talking about in there, and I'm not mentioning it here because I'm gonna do it right next time. That will be a video of the actual, like I should have done the first time, buddy. Thanks, brother. Much love. And yeah, oh, sweet guys. All right, guys, that's it for me tonight. Like, share, subscribe, tell the others, tell the world about Crow. He's insane, but sometimes he's got a good point. I'll see ya.